And we are live. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our 51st live stream. I think. I hope I got the numbers right here. And I've got Growler in the house with me.
G'day,
Hey,
Legend.
Growler. How you
How are
going?
you, mate? Good, good, good.
Yeah,
How are
we're
you,
going
mate?
good. I'm good. I'm good. We're
Good.
good. So
Yep.
we are going to bring you something a bit different tonight for the evening stream. We just wanted to change gears with away from this thing that's gripping the world, if we all know
Yep.
what we
Yep.
mean. But we're going to be having a look at something Growler's put together, which is pretty interesting. And also, just after that, we're going to have Chris Levens join us. So stick around for Chris to be talking to us about something completely different. This is going to blow your minds because it's happened again the way the Holy Spirit works, but stay tuned to find out what Chris and Growler and I will be sharing about a little bit later on. All right, Growler, so, yeah, how's your day so far?
Oh, mate. Yeah, good to get off the crap train, I call it, and do something different, like you said. But yeah, going well, and hopefully everyone is going well in the chat. And big shout out to our awesome brother Shane Barber and Trixie Andrews. Very, very proud of you, sister. You're doing a really good job, and you just keep that up. I know it's not easy there. And Dwayne as well. Good to have you in, my brother. Keep smashing it out like you normally do, mate. And Spencer Murphy from Florida, Rayetta Lee, Truth Seeds, your grouse. Good to have you in, man. Elizabeth Borenson. No rain, no rainbows. Thanks for coming in, JD Leslie. Good on you, mate. Hope everything's going well. If you know what, I'm trying to put something together. I'm just having a look at the situation in Afghanistan. I think there could be a few more things to it, really, than what they're saying. So I'm just laying low on that for the time being and just try and piece together a few things. I've spoken to Beck about this, and but we'll just see how everything pans out. I just would rather get a bigger picture and see what's actually behind it. So, yeah, and to save sinner. Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Awesome. Thanks for doing the chat there, mate, because I can't see the
That's all right.
chat tonight, guys. I don't have it on this device I'm on. So thanks.
Yep.
And to everybody that I can't see, welcome in, guys. I just want to start out with a quick prayer over this stream because we don't want to get attacked or anything tonight or get it taken down. We hopefully can beat all this censorship that's going on, if you guys know what I mean, from the beautiful platform that we're on. So I do want to say a prayer. So, Father in heaven, I thank you for this gathering. I thank you that you can bring us together in one accord here, that Growler and I can try and get across our point as best and as only from what you want us to say, not from even what we think, Father. So I just pray that you keep your hand, your mighty hand upon everybody listening here, and that we are all in one accord. I thank you, Father, and I pray that in the mighty name of Yeshua, Jesus. Thank you. All right. Just had to start off like that. So
Yep.
we're
Good.
going to talk about the UAE, aren't we? It's going to be good.
Yeah. We've gone over it a few times in other streams, and I've put together. I mean, go on it for days and weeks, but I'm just going to go through a few things. Basically, this is the rich, blasphemous lifestyle that they want to lead under the new normal, they say. So, yeah, it will be interesting, and you'll actually get to see where this is going. And yeah, it's pretty interesting, but yeah, I mean, there's not much more we can really say, though. It's disgusting, really. It's blasphemous, but what they're putting together is pretty full on. So, yeah.
That's right. And you know, as far as prophecy goes, it plays into the hand of prophecy, whether they're doing it or whether it's, you know, true prophecy, either or. they're playing right into the hands of showing you the book of Revelation being fulfilled. That's as simple as that, either way you look at it. So that's really interesting in itself too, when you can look at it from two sides. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, all the links will be in the description box, and you can do your own further study about it as well. So, yeah, like I said, you can just really see where this is going. So it's pretty full on. And did you want me to start with
You can go
everything,
for it,
sis?
mate. Yeah, well, I just did
Okay.
want to update everybody and just say our situation here, we're fine, guys. We've been looked after more than by our Father. We've been looked after more than I can believe. And the miracles aren't over yet here either. We've got something in the pipeline. We'll let you guys know very vaguely what happens, but we're pretty excited and we've had things. Guys, all I can say is get in and pray, because he's answering prayers right now. It's happening. So don't give up. We want to encourage you, help you grow if we can, but we need to grow together, because we need to grow too. So that's, I just wanted to say that, yeah, I think there's a lot of things being poured out right now, and it's still not over. As long as we're here, it's not over. So let's keep going
That's
strong,
right.
and we're going to see what
Yep.
you've got to say and how this all does play into absolutely like what's going on.
Yeah, cool. And just quickly, hi to Marlo. Thank you very much for coming in. Peter Williams, A248, and Real Bible, Real Life. Hope you're going well, man. Hope everything's going well for you over in America and the situation's getting better. Okay, so yeah, I've just put together a bit of a montage. I won't be reading too much, but I'll just be going through quite a few images and how it all plays out and who's behind it and that sort of thing. So if we bring up the first one, that'd be great. Okay, so this is Sardiat Island over in the UAE. And this is basically the Ritchie's blasphemous Babylonian playground, and yeah, it's very eye-opening actually. So I'm just going to read a few things, and then we're going to see the companies, the company behind this, and who else they serve around the world, and you'll start to get a bit more of a gist of how things are playing out. So Sardiat Island, is there any way we can just make that a bit bigger? Sorry, mate, I'm blind. Typical, even the glasses don't work. So Sardiat Island is a natural island and a tourism cultural project for nature and the Emirati heritage and culture that is located in Abu Dhabi, UAE. The project is located in a large low-lying island, 500 metres, 1,600 feet off the coast of Abu Dhabi. A mixed commercial, residential, leisure project is currently under construction on the island. When completed, Sardiat Island is expected to become Abu Dhabi's cultural centre, most for the island's cultural district, and is expected to include 8 museums. So so if we just go a bit more, that's right. So the project is being developed by the Abu Dhabi Tourism Authority, held tourism development and investment company. The company plans is to dispose of development to private investors that will work on their sites in accordance with the master plan as well as other ground rules. The plan for Sardiat Island was done by EDAW, and continued under ACOM. Okay, so if we go into ACOM there, that'd be great. So this is the company that's I'll just quickly read the top here for a quick second. So they've got 87,000 employees around the world, and the and is number 157 on the 2019 Fortune 500 list. So they're quite a big company. So if we can just scroll down, mate, that would be great. So I'm just going to show you who these people serve. they're part of it's the Ashland Oil and Refining Company, and we know big pharma, big oil, and all that sort of thing. The military-industrial complex and the military, the military-industrial complex. They all work together when they decide to go to war. So if we just go down, just keep going down until we get who they. Just there quickly. Sorry, a bit more up. Yeah, sorry about that, mate. As you can see just here. The management service provides services and support to governmental clients, including the Department of Energy, DOE, and the Department of Energy are in with the Atomic Energy Agency, all that, and Department of Defence. So if we just keep scrolling down a little bit more, I'm just going to go through who they work with and who they what they do around the world. So if we just keep scrolling down, I think it might be just before the bottom there, service, corporate affairs, so major projects. This is the one I want. Okay, so they did the 2016 Summer Olympics, the International Airport at Dubai, they're into diamond mining, AT&T Stadium, Barclays Centre, and we all know Barclays is a very big central bank, Brisbane City Hall, Cape Town Stadium, Central Market Project, China National Convention Centre. If we still keep going down, that'd be good, mate. Sorry about that. I'll just scroll down a little bit. Sorry. And so, as you can see, the China National Crossrail, Defence Information Systems Agency, the Defence Intelligence Agency headquarters. They do sewage systems, Dubai Healthcare City, all these. Etihad Rail, so they take care of rail, and even do Ferrari World, Fort Knox Gold Mine, all these places. They do Heathrow Airport, the Heinz Innovation Centre. Who knows? They might be, I don't know, studying baked beans. Who knows? High Speed Rail, Hong Kong Science Park, JF Kennedy Airport. Now there's two big ones here: the Langley Research Centre and the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. So that's a BSL 4 lab. That is a biosecurity 4 lab as well. So if we just go, and they do the World Trade Center. I'm on the right part here now. I'll read from the bottom up. That's fine. World Trade Center, U.S. Army Information Technology Agency, Titanic Belfast, Texas Cryptology Center, Stockholm Bypass, Sydney Airport. So you can actually see the projects that these guys are in, and they are huge. They really are. The Royal Bank of Scotland, Samsung Medical Centre. So they're in everything. They are just in everything. And I'll let you guys look at all the rest, and then click into those, and you see who the CEOs are and all this. It's quite eye-opening. And the National Energy Technology Laboratory, so they work with military, they work with oil, they work with civil, they work with commercial, all this sort of stuff. So you can start to see a more grander picture and how big this is. So if we go into the next one there, Mesh, that would be good, mate. Okay. Now, you've got the Abrahamic house. You've got the Abrahamic house, which is the 3 churches, or so-called churches, and this is where the Abrahamic house is, and this is where all this sort of stuff is. So you've got 6-star hotels, you've got museums, you've got the Abrahamic house, so you can see that it's a massive 6-star community. Now, if you have a look, now these are the other churches, so-called churches here. Now, if you have a look here, now, first of all, you've got something that looks like you've got a sphere here, and then you've got sort of like, looks like a cobra snake coming up here, and it's like it's birthing eggs. Okay, so now the cobra one here is for Islam. The next one here is for Judaism, and the next one with the cross on it, you can see the cross bending over here. So you can see the blasphemy. You really can. And that's the church. So so there's only a Catholic church. There's a mosque. There's a mosque and a temple for Judaism. Now, with the Abrahamic house, you have a Catholic church, you have a mosque, and you have another one for Judaism. So there's no Christianity in there. So you can see that they've gotten rid of Christianity, and they're saying, well, the Catholic Church, like I said, and I always go on about this, that there's a lot of Catholics that love Jesus and everything. This is not against the Catholic people. I don't do that. It's against the hierarchy of this, because I feel sorry for these lovely people. And look, no one can judge anybody, and mercy triumphs over judgment. And like I said, there's a lot of lovely Catholic people out there that truly love Jesus, which is great. So if we can just keep scrolling down there, Mess, that'd be good, mate. So just that image there, that'd be great if we can just, yep, that's it. So you can see where this is going. You've got the Abrahamic house, and then you've got the others here. So it looks like a cobra snake. So you can see that birthing the eggs here. So I mean, that's pretty plain and simple, and I won't have to go through that. So if we can just keep scrolling down, if there's any more images, that'd be good, mate. Okay, so here, have a look at this. Now, on your this is in the so-called Christian part here. Okay, now on your right-hand side, you've got, well, they say it's Mary holding Jesus, but we know it's Semiramis. Okay, Semiramis, you see, is looking towards the cross. That's falling over. Then you've got the crucifix down with Jesus on the cross here, the cross falling on Jesus. See, this is little things like this. You can start to pick out, what are you doing? And, you can see where this is going. I mean, if you guys, started a church, I'm sure something like that wouldn't happen. So you can see the blasphemy in this. It's just unbelievable. So you got Semiramis, Nimrod, Tammuz, and all that. So they're worshipping Mary, Semiramis. Then the cross is falling over. It's crooked. And then you've got the crucifix down there, the cross falling onto Jesus on the cross. So you can, it's blasphemy, the highest order. Now, if we go down to the next one, mate, that would be good.
It doesn't get much worse than that, does it?
Yeah. Okay, now this is the Muslim temple here, okay? Now, as you can see, the green door there, sis, the green door, you're having a look at that. You'd know more about that than me. We know what the green, because we know Islam is associated with the colour green. And if you,
there was a song about it too, behind the green door.
That's right. And then if you look to the right, that's a guillotine. Okay? That's a guillotine. Okay? Wow. And then you're basically to the right here, I don't know, it's a scoring panel. I don't know. Wow. Yeah. So I'm not saying that this would happen. I mean, in this new world, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they really got the real Christians, put them up there and executed them in here as a celebration. They
certainly will.
Yeah. Well, that's right. So it's all pretty in your face here. You've got the green door, you've got the guillotine, whatever it is. I don't know. Put them on trial. I don't know. And you've got your scoring panel here. Probably I don't know. They give a shot out of 10. Who knows? I'm just going through a few images here, and so you can see what they're building over there. And this is the Jewish quarter, and you can see the arch. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what it is. So as you can see, you've got Catholicism, you've got Islam, and you've got Judaism. So there's no room for Christians. So there won't be any Christians because it's all going to align under Chrislam, basically. That's what it's going to be. And if you have a look at the Abrahamic house, and everyone can go into, if the Catholics wanted to go into the Judaism, they can. It's all about sharing religions, and Catholics can go into the mosque even and respect what they do, and then the people in the mosque can go to the Judaism and respect what they do. So they're really trying to they're, how would I put it? They're trying to do is saying worship anything, anything's the go, respect humanity. I mean, I've got no problems with respecting humanity, but when it comes to worshipping and all this sort of, there's only one we worship, and he's the one who atoned for our sins, and he's, I mean, of course, Yeshua is our is the only one through to the Father. He's our way through to the Father, and we only. I don't even have to go on about it. But as you can see, they're removing Christ from everything. They're putting Allah in there. They're putting Judaism in there, and they're putting Catholicism in there. So there's Mary, there's Allah, and Judaism. So there's no Christ in here, and they're just worshiping Christ on the cross, which is the highest blasphemy you can get. So if we go to the next one, mate, that would be good. Yep. So you can see you can see here you can see how it's all set out. It looks modern. It looks beautiful. All this sort of stuff. All this sort of stuff. I mean, it is what it is. It's very Masonic looking, and as I'm going to show you some more images, there's a lot of black and white. There's a lot of triangles. There's a lot of cubes and all this sort of thing. So you can see where it's going. If we go down to the next one, there's one there. So that's this here. So there are so-called three churches in the snake eggs, and like I said, it's all 6-star. I mean, if you go to Sardinia Island, you have a look at all the hotels that they've got. It is just, the luxury is just out of this world. It's 6, 7-star or 8-star. I don't care what you want to call it. So it's supposed to be like a brand new Babylon. It's like it's a brand new world. And if there is war, if there's going to be an exchange somewhere, this place wouldn't be hit. I can tell you that right now. So they would leave certain places alone to carry out their further agenda. Is there any more images down there? Sorry, mate. Yeah. So there we are. So as you can see with here, you can see the light. You can see the light just on top of the cobra's head here. Some people have said that's where a guillotine would be, and people are looking. Seeing people execute. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. But as you can see, the snake with the light, with the eyes coming out, and it'd be shining a light out. So you can see as above, so below. I mean, it speaks for itself. It really does. It speaks for itself. And I mean, basically, you know, Satan's not hiding, is he? Plain and simple. So if we can just go to the next article there, mate, that'd be good. Okay, so this here is the Abrahamic house. Okay, as you saw in the thumbnail. If I can get you to scroll up, yeah, that's it. Thanks, mate. As you can see, they're trying to build their own Garden of Eden here, their own worship place, everything. I mean, everything will be in this community, and this will, apart from Israel, will, I don't know, will be the leisure and play centre of the new world. You know, if you have a look on top, they're all cubes, as you can see. They're all, cubes, and if you have a look on especially the right hand side here, it's got a triangle in the top of the roof, so you can I mean, what do you think, sis? You know, I mean, you can't get any worse, can you?
Oh, mate, look,
you know, you really
I
can't.
could go on all day. If we had a look inside, we could do the occult tour 101 on this one. It's no drama at all.
Yeah, that's right. And
these people know exactly what they're doing. It's not like they're innocent to all this. These people know exactly what they are doing and who they are worshipping.
Yeah, that's right. And the architect of this is...
Rowler, I've said a whole sentence before and I didn't realise I was muted.
Right.
I just wanted to say, guys, I have to flick back and forth from the show to chat. I can't actually comment, but I just wanted to say, Super Dave, thanks very much for your comment back there. I love you, mate. And yeah, we did see this, so thanks for that. Now, I can't comment. That's all. I just wanted to let everybody know. So we're not being rude tonight, but my tablet has gone walkabout. It is not here. So just thought I'd let you guys know. So I'll let Growler keep going.
Okay, thanks, mate. So yeah, it's I'm going to show you inside of what it is, and I think is there any way that we just keep scrolling down? It might actually be in here. That's one of the images there. That's date palms and the whole rest here. If we just keep going down, if we can, yeah, next image. So there we are. This is inside. This is inside the Catholic quarters here. So if you have a look at how it's all done, it all looks beautiful and everything like that. I'm not too well versed into the occult side like Beck is, but I'm not sure if I can make an image out of this. I don't know. So as you can see what it looks like inside compared to the other snake eggs that we saw. So you can actually see what they're promoting here. If you keep scrolling down, if there is any more images, yeah, that's right. So and what they do, they always show the Muslims, the Catholics, and the Jews together. So you can actually see, it's going to be a world reuniting religion, and this is all done under Francis from Rome and Artura, the Black Pope, Artura Sosa, who is the big boy in everything. The Black Pope, you want to have a look into him. He's the one who runs everything. Just here, yeah, that one there, yeah. This is within the Abrahamic house. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Now, if you see those people standing to the right here, and on the wall, this is what they're doing here. On the wall, in between those two pictures, it's basically Jesus here without a cross, with his arms up like a broken cross.
Yep.
Okay.
Your peace sign.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with Jesus on it. Yeah, that's right. And this is what these people are doing now. I mean, when you think it can't get any worse, well, I mean, I thought, I couldn't be shocked anymore, or any of you guys in the chat couldn't be shocked anymore, and you just keep getting more shocked and more shocked. It's but he's going to come soon and smash these people. So I just wanted to show you a few things, and so you can see what's going to happen with the new religion, how they want to set it out, and the abominations that the UAE is on this particular island, and who knows, it actually might go, I hate to say it, but global, if you know what I mean. And they've got a museum as well with a lot of Egyptian artifacts and Roman artifacts. So if we can just go to that YouTube video, I just want you guys to have a look at what they're doing. This is called the Louvre, and that was actually signed and funded as well by Jacques Chirac, the French Prime Minister at the time. So it's been in the works for a very, very long time, which is pretty sad.
It has, if that it involved him back then, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is the museum.
Quite excited now because we have worked since 10 years for the creation of this important museum with this narrative and a lot of debates, a lot of discussions, and now it will open. It's moving. The tour is made by 12 chapters, you know, the 12 steps of the global history, of the narrative of the Louvre Abu Dhabi, like an open book on the history of humankind.
Yeah, so you can actually see that they're incorporating art worship. They're incorporating museums. They're doing all this. And if you have a look at that the last video that I just played here, you see Roman emperors, you see Egyptian, and all this. You know, they had Augustus in there. They had a pharaoh. They had everything relating to well, they say that. I have a look at it like the 12 tribes of Judah. That's what they're trying to. That's what they're trying to mimic. You
That's
know, when
what
they
I
said,
thought,
yeah, that's
Val.
right.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought, yeah.
So you can see as above, so below, and it's a total mockery at all times because you know Satan has to try and be as good as Jesus, and that's just a joke and a half, you know. But we all know what sort of loser he is, and he's going to get shot in the head so many times by me when I get when I get up there, sis, you know. And I find how everything's set out. If you have a look through the Bible and how back in different timelines and different how would I put it, walks of life and different times in life, and that's what they're trying to do. So they cut God out. They're putting images and cutting God out of everything because he's not mentioned in these museums. He's not mentioned in the Abrahamic house. He's not mentioned in anything, and basically it's just an upside down abomination. And like I said, you know, you can see where this is going, and it's really sad. So I just wanted to bring that do something totally different because I find it's very beneficial if you guys go into it and have a look. You know, you might, you know, you'll find something and things that I don't find, and you know, we can start bouncing off each other. So you know, I think it's a break from you know what's happening around the world and start looking in different places and see what else is happening, because there's not one thing that's happening, there's about 10 things happening, and I find it very beneficial keeping yourself abreast of this and staying ahead. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and
I did.
yeah,
I did,
and you can
very much
yeah
so.
you can yeah so
Now,
yeah,
I just did want to
look at
say
it.
that we're going to drop the link for you, Chris. Messy's just about to do that. And we're going to have Chris Levens, who is in chat. Everybody knows Christopher Levens.
Yep.
He's going to join us for something a little different. I will be asking you guys how many of you have come across this in the last few months, because that's something that Growler and I started looking into this alone. I was even worried that he might have thought I was crazy. And I eventually told him, and it's been like, 2 or 3 months for me now, Growler, hasn't it? That I've been
absolutely it has, yeah.
looking into this issue of what Chris and I are going to chat about. And because I can't see the screen, I have to keep jumping from one screen to the other. So we just
there's Paul McKellen. Hello, sorry. Paul McKellen, hello, fellow trendsetters. G'day, mate. Hope you're going well, mate. I just got into the chat then because I was presenting. So, yeah, everyone say a big shout out to Beck's husband, Paul McKellen.
Is he there? Is he? I can't see
it. Yeah.
Something wrong. My chat's lagging or something. Okay. But, all right. So what we're going to do is hopefully get Chris on the line. It might take him a little minute or so because he did have a bit of trouble the other time we tried to get him in. So we'll see how we go today. But in talking about that, what you said in the Abrahamic house with the guillotines there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given, because we have to understand that these Noahide laws will not tolerate any. Look, why is it that Yeshua is the biggest threat? It's not Muhammad. It's not Buddha. Why is it Yeshua that it's only him? If you believe in him, you're ridiculed, persecuted. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer at this stage. You know, maybe 20, 30 years ago, even 10 years ago, people mightn't have been able to see it. But I think you can see it now, that it is a targeted religion. Oh, good day, Stefan. Stefan is in the house. To those who will listen, Stefan's got a channel there, guys. Go and show him some love at the end of this stream. To those who will listen, that's Stefan. Stefan. Hope I'm saying it right, dude.
G'day, Stefan.
We got a guy in Australia called Stefan, and he cuts all our hair, doesn't he, Growler?
Oh, he wouldn't cut my hair. I'd cut his hair.
He's a high Luciferian, that one, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
To be in this, unfortunately, but and yes, I've been watching your videos, mate. It's that girl with those eyes. Yeah, go over and show Stefan because he's got some good videos, and you'll enjoy it. And Fudge is in the house. I can see the chat now.
Fudgy.
Sorry, you wouldn't want me cutting your hair, Stefan said. Okay.
And beautiful Anne as well. Thanks
Anne's
for coming
in the house. Yep. And
how dare you have 2 appointments? Sorry. You should be on our chat.
Roxanne's in Canada, and she says it's official. Sanitary passport coming 1st of September in Quebec for bars, restaurants, etc. There we go. It's on. I do not consent. Yep. We're just trying not to talk about that too much, but I did want to read that comment out about it. So thanks for that, Roxanne. Roxanne's in Canada there, guys. And Real Bible, Real Life says, imagine trying to get medical care with the nurse and doctors queuing in their jobs in mass. Does she mean quitting? Quitting their jobs in mass. The ones we can trust won't be there anymore. Well, that's right. I wouldn't trust any of them. The only person I trust in the medical profession anymore here in this city is my vet.
Yeah,
that's right. Because you know, he's not going to go and try and jab my dog. So I can trust my vet. And I mean, if I need something that bad, I'll probably go to him and say, hey, I broke my leg, quick, give me morphine to the vet. I mean, I trust him more not to do anything ridiculous to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Has it gotten to that stage where they would do it without, you know, they tell us it's something else? I don't know. I'm just having a bit of fun here with it because it's been really, guys, we got to shift focus, all of us. Sometimes you've just got to get out of this mess and look at something else. And that's what we've been doing the last few months, which is what I wanted to talk about with Chris. Now, Chris still has not jumped in to the StreamYard link yet. So I'm not sure what's happening, but we can start this chat off, and hopefully Chris is going to be able to get in because it's not something I really want to start talking about if he's not going to join us at this time, because I've been sitting on it for a while, guys. I didn't want to say anything until I had enough evidence to prove that, oh, good, he's here. I'd like just to be able to, you know, go back on myself and make sure and double check and make sure I'm thinking about it properly and analysing it, which is what Chris has contacted me about tonight before we started streaming. Hi, Chris.
Hey,
how are you, darling?
Good.
Excellent. I'm so glad you could join us, mate. Guys, for you guys that are new to the stream, Chris is our best friend in America. He's in North Carolina at the moment, and we talk on a very, very regular basis. So he keeps us informed. We keep him informed. And Chris rang me tonight with something that was on his mind. And it just so happened that it's exactly what I've been studying for 2 months and said nothing about it. So, Chris, it's a pretty wild thing we were talking about.
It is. And not only that, I was my best friend and my roommate, my confidant, strange as it sounds, he did the same thing. He walked up to me and he started talking about it just out of the blue. And you know, I don't take these things lightly because I don't believe in coincidence. So, with that being said, let's get started. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. For everybody that's listening and about to hear what I'm about to say, this might seem crazy. This might seem out of topic or unbiblical, but what I've been researching and looking into is, how do I put it back? How do I label this? Do I label it as?
No, try not to. Oh, gee, it's hard, isn't it?
I don't want to put a label on it because, okay, I'm just going to put it out there. How about this?
Okay.
What we're thinking is everything that you think that we're going through has already happened. And we're in the millennial reign. Okay. The mark of the beast has happened. And we can go back and we know that we've been lied to about everything. And how deep does that rabbit hole go? Well, the scriptures are the scriptures, and I do believe in them, and I do believe in them in gospel as truth. But we have to look at our reality in a whole different aspect at this point because, again, our controllers of this world and whoever else the case may be, we've been lied to about so many, everything. I shouldn't say so many things, everything.
Everything.
Everything that you can even, you went through school, in the indoctrination of the globe earth and whatever else, the Bible, and this and that. So, with that being said, let's get to the meat and bones of this. Has what we're expecting and what I was expecting and what everybody in the chat was expecting is going to happen, has it already happened? Let's throw that out there. And I ask everybody to keep an open mind to this because, you know, yes, this is going to seem a little far-fetched, crazy, but hasn't everything in to this point? Yeah. So let's go from here. Let's start on a clean slate and try to figure this out. And I can't do this on my own, and I need help. You know, I'm asking questions here. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to fill you guys' minds with anything. I'm just asking questions. Have what we thought, you know, with the mark of the beast and everything, has this already happened? Now, I don't know if anybody's ever looked into how do you pronounce these buildings and everything in the mud
Tartaria.
Okay, maybe these guys haven't looked into this stuff. I have. I thought it was
just
crazy.
quickly. I don't think it's we're not going on about preterism here. That's one thing we're not doing.
Thank you,
And I
Growler.
want to, yeah. So it's not preterism at all. Okay.
Thanks, Growler.
Not at all. Cool.
Yep. Thanks for doing that.
That's right. And I don't know. I'm going to tell you, I don't know. I'm asking questions. I was confronted on this, and my first knee-jerk reaction was, no, this can't happen. But then, me being me, you have to sit back and think about things and take things into question. So this is where I'm at. You know, you've got to question everything. This is what I ask everybody to do. So there are things in this world that are so questionable at this very point, because when we say end times, what does that mean? Has the millennial reign been here and done, and now we're at the cusp of, what do you call it, Gallo? What would you call this?
No, I would look if if this is true, if okay. Now, if you have a look at the scripture when it says there is nothing new under the sun, and we discussed this just before we came on the stream. Uh, I'm not saying 100% at all, but there's things to think about, and you want to always think about things and eliminate that and eliminate that and eliminate that. If it's true, if you have a look in Revelations, and could this be, when they're juicing people and that sort of thing, could this be, could this turn the juice and that sort of stuff, could this turn people into the final Armageddon army to fight Jesus when he comes back?
Maybe.
Because if you have a look at when it says, as we were talking about earlier on, if you have a look at the head wound of the beast healed, and that was between World War One and World War Two, and then you had so-called Roswell, but the crash was actually a corona. The crash was a corona. It was closer to corona, and we know what we're in at the moment. The three unclean spirits that came out of the mouth of the false prophet, which we all know that Rome is the false prophet, of course, and the three unclean spirits that look like frogs. Now, what do grey aliens look like? They look like frogs, and they worked miracles, and they gathered all the kings. They gathered all the kings of the world to battle to battle the Lord on the great day for Armageddon. So could this be when, I'm not saying it is, but, we're just throwing a few ideas. That's all we're doing. We're just throwing a few ideas. We could be totally and utterly wrong.
I
I'm not
think you
saying
have
that,
to look at evidence more than ideas.
absolutely.
When we're always
absolutely.
presented with something new, we have to look at what we can back that up with. And
with
even
Tartaria.
Well, everything's been a lie, and then we look at old photos, and we're shown things, these people that only had horse and buggy, surrounded by this majestic cities, that there is no way these people could have built these. Salt Lake City, 50,000 people, and within 10 years they had a city? No. Now, you have to be seriously thinking, and that's where Chris is coming from. He's been hit with this left field. I've already known about this for a few months now, so I've been sitting on this too, gathering information. Now, I've actually, Chris didn't even know this, that this morning he asked us this question, and I said, well, as a matter of fact, I've actually been trying to compile enough evidence to bring it forward, and well, then let's bring it forward today. I'll do it today with you, and that's why we've decided to tell you guys this. Now, and I'm sure, Chris, if you've looked into any channels that you do your Hangman 1128 with the ancient trees, your John Levi is an awesome channel. You've got Paul Cook. These channels, they have actually gone out without any pretense or anything and shown you. Now, I went to my own Ipswich here, which is not England. We're in Australia, but there is an Ipswich here as well. And I showed Growler what I'd learned.
You did. Yes,
didn't
you
I?
did.
I showed you the proof of this blood that was just a big wall of mud that went through that one. It seems to have gone maybe not completely worldwide. Now, if that happened in the flood, I'm not sure. or did this happen this second time round? But what does seem to be very, very compelling evidence is the melted things. Now, Chris, even that's what he said, the melted things that are, there was fire, okay? We're talking, there was, and I've got places, this is what I've been trying to compile for you guys. I can show you maps of these places that look like something absolutely catastrophic, like bombs, like there's holes, there's water, hard to explain, but I tell you what, once you see this, you can't look back, this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
this
the
stuff is
evidence
not
is
for
there.
the faint. Well, yeah, and it's not for the faint-hearted, because you do, like Chris said, you have to be open-minded, put away everything you've learned. Look, we know all the lies we've been told. Why should this shock any of us? No, didn't shock me. That's why I looked. I went, all I got to do is look into this. I keep
We know he's
having
going to return again.
Yes, exactly.
So we're not saying that he's not returning. That's what he's going to do it
No.
again. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it could be. Yeah, this could be. Like you said, there's nothing new under the sun, and he's going to come back and get us because we're in the Great Tribulation. If you have a look at, they call it the Great Reset. So we're in the Great Tribulation here. So this could be our Great Tribulation as well. But nothing will change because he's going to come back and get us. So.
Well, guys, we can see that it can't get much worse. They're going to come and bloody get us and kill us. I mean, this is something. This is the end of something and the beginning of something else. And I think we should let Chris have a go, because I'm sure he's bursting to tell us what actually makes you think this, Chris, maybe could be.
Okay, so if we go back to Scripture, people are confused on the coming back of Christ with the rapture. Those are two separate things that happen, because the rapture, Jesus does not come back. The Scripture tells us this. We are taken away, and I say we as human beings. Now I'm on the mindset, and I'm thinking here. Okay, has this happened already? Okay, has the rapture happened? Has the millennial reign happened? Because, again, as a constructional engineer and knowing the things that I know and talking with experts that I know, we've went through this thoroughly and looked at around the world. I've been around the world many times and looked at structures. Of course, it boggles the human psyche. How are these things built? Even today, it's impossible. The technology and the equipment.
Right on.
Now, it's literally impossible. And then we have photos of these things in black and white of people running around, like you said, Beck, in horse and buggy. Now, this is something we have to scratch our heads on, thinking, these people do this with horse and buggy? The answer is no.
That's right. Absolutely.
You see, how did this all get past us, really, guys? Think about it now. Just stretch your brain here.
Okay, so listen, with that being said, I hope, Beck, I need to plug a channel so everybody can watch these things. And there's two videos. One's a 5-hour documentary. The other one's an 8-hour documentary. And please. Well, it is Sage of Quay. His name is Mike Williams.
Yeah, okay. I know.
And I recommend this for anybody listening. It's called The Sage of Quay. There's a 5-hour video and there's an 8-hour video, and they kind of coincide with each other. Now, this is not his doing. He is on the same page as we are. He's trying to wake people up and ask questions, okay? But these videos really knock things out of the park. Okay, if you got time in your hands, piece it out. I had to. Of course, everybody has to. An 8-hour video. But I literally found myself sitting there day in and day out staying up at night watching these things and taking notes, because if anybody knows me, this is who I am, and I need to know the truth, and not just scratch the surface, but keep digging and figure out
Yeah.
what is really going on. Because, damn it, you think you're being lied now? This has been happening through millennia. All right. And since day one that you entered grade school, kindergarten, all the way up to sixth grade, you've been lied to about everything. Everything. Especially when it comes to history and geology. And so, here we are. Now we're getting biblical. So, I'm not saying that the biblical scriptures are wrong. Maybe, just maybe, we're looking at it wrong. Okay? Or, again, and everybody knows, we all know this, the Jesuits, the Catholics, they left a lot out purposely. Okay? So, keep that in mind. We don't know what is canon and what's not. I mean, we know what's canon now. So let's Christ has been here already. Okay? Let's leave it at that. The mark of the beast has already been here.
Yep. And again.
All right? Now, with that being said, like you said, Growler,
it's happening again.
Right. So, happening again. Where, in your professional opinion, where does this lead us? Where does this leave us at?
Well, the thing is, I would say that, look, if. I mean, and look, Becca's already pointed out to me as we went through Ipswich and that sort of thing. The evidence is there with the buildings and everything, and they can't make these huge monoliths with horse and buggy, can they? It just doesn't happen. But the same thing is repeating itself.
Hold on, Paul. Let me stop you right there. It's just not the monoliths and the megaliths, but you've got, if you go back and look at these things, they've obviously had free energy. Okay?
Yeah.
All around the world. Supposedly before there was, I mean, again, we got to remember, horse and buggy. Now, you've got these structures that have the same, I don't know what we call them today, the domes, and there's pillars, and they've all got these. Again,
it's like a cockle eye in them. They had a cockle where they had something that was as big as a man or bigger, like a big man, and that all of those things have been removed. Whatever they had in those domes, that little part between the dome and the ground, they've all been removed. And fireplaces were not used as fireplaces.
That's right.
They were not.
Not only that, these things are laid out on ley lines. And if anybody knows what ley lines are, they are geometric energy lines. And what I figured out the other night is throughout time, again, if you're a flat earther, you know that what ley lines truly are is there's, I don't know if it's every century or what happens is there's geometric lines that run through, I say Earth, however you want to look at it, over and over and over again. Okay. And we're talking, um, this is throughout extreme time. And it's eclipses. We've had an eclipse, I think it was 2017, that went through the United States and it X. Okay, this ain't the first time. Again, like you said, Growler, this ain't, nothing's new under the sun. So these, what they're doing is they're laying out ley lines because they go over and over, and this throughout time. And then you've got the meridian and gradient across. So whoever it is, and I believe this is conjecture on my part, it's the fallen angels, because they knew, they were there when God made the earth. I say earth, whatever it is. It's not a spinning ball. They were there. They were there and watched and understood these things before they were fallen. Okay, so this, again, ties into everything. So when we get to these monuments and structures of waterways underground that are just impossible for man to even comprehend how, not just made, but why they're made and what they were for. They were just to put water somewhere. They were used as a conduit for energy sources. You've got to beg the question, who has the mentality or the thinking capability besides mankind to even come up with something like this, let alone putting this unbelievable structures around these things to coincide and couple with it. And this is the notes I take and things I get laughed at, but we have to ask these. We have to ask these questions, because again, the mainstream media, and you've got all the education. They look at me and you like we're fools. Okay.
Yeah, we got two heads.
But listen, it doesn't take somebody 2 minutes to walk on something and figure out. Let's just look at the pyramids for a minute. We know, I don't care who you are, these things weren't done by man. I mean, that's obvious. And the Egyptians, they can tell us all day long they did it, and but this is where I'm at, and I ask you, and I implore you to just please look into these things, because again, this is I believe God is putting truth on me in little bits and pieces, and I'm putting it on you guys. So here we go. Yeah.
Chris, I just want to say that I agree with you 100% what you just said then. And it's just strange, and this is how I find the Holy Spirit works. And if we all want to go back to our awakening with the lies, mine started with Hollywood, then NASA, then it and went, obviously, once you go into NASA, we all know where that leads, into our enclosed system. Now, if you remember the feelings you felt back then, Chris, this is what's been happening to me all over again, learning about this stuff, because as I said, I can recommend a couple of really good channels. I will leave links for you guys to do that, to do your own research, because you can't say we're wrong or we're right unless we all look and critically think for ourselves. And I believe it was fallen angel technology. I am totally with you there, 100%. I've never backed down from saying that from the start of all this. And it's incredible to think that you look at these star forts, you look at, the Statue of Liberty, it's just on a big star fort. Most of it's under the ground.
Listen, it goes back to the and everything all the way up to this very day is pagan, and it started somewhere. So if these things didn't work, or if these entities weren't making themselves known to these people back in Jesus' day, or even before that, all the way up to this very day, why has it continued? Because it would have stopped. So obviously something's working, and something is true to these false gods. And when I say little g gods, they're the fallen angels, and they are still here today. They are not from some other star system. They're not. They've been here. How they got through with the flood, we can argue about that all day long. They had a plan. Okay. And we can go back to scriptures where it tells us, and I've argued with people, well, they're just spiritual beings. No, they're both. Okay? They can come in between. They can make it themselves look humanistic.
Absolutely.
In the Greek, it's called okaterion. Okay, they changed. They fell from their angelic bodies into bodies that we see, and that's called okaterion. Okay, that's only mentioned a couple times in the Bible. So they can eat and breathe and function just like we do. You would never know it. As a matter of fact, there's scriptures that tell us that be careful of who you talk to, or who you because you might be entertaining an angel. Now, why would the scriptures tell us that? Because we picture angels, and I believe this is the lie of the devil, of these little fairy things float with wings, and a little bow and arrow. These are the lies we've been told to.
Yeah.
Just like Santa Claus and everything else. This is of the devil. You got to remember, angels, and I'm talking to everybody out there in the chats, and you've probably, not knowing, came across an angel in your lifetime and not even knowing it, because they look like me and you. You know, God tests, and He wants to know things, whatever He. So with that being said, the fallen ones, they're no different, but they're fallen. They turned from God. They're cast out. That doesn't mean they lost their powers, or they lost their abilities to do anything. As a matter of fact, Satan, which was called Lucifer, he's the king. He's the prince of the power of the air. That doesn't mean he is a spiritual being. That doesn't mean he can't conform to make it look like mere you. And going back to these buildings, okay, this is where there's no other option, because if you look at these things, and many people have, And you got to understand why would and I call them the Luciferians of this world that has always been here, the Freemasons, uh, the secret societies. Why have they hid these things from us? Why? Because, again, they don't want us to know who God is. They're trying, that's the bottom line. And at the end of the day, where we're at now, and this is where I think we're at, they want to get rid of Christianity. Anybody that's true Christian, they want them wiped out. Okay? It's happening. It's happening before our very eyes. Now, God will not, and I say this meaningful, He always gives free will. You have a choice, and you always will have a choice to who you're going to choose. You know, and I've heard people, you can sell your soul, and you sell your soul to rock and roll, or sell your soul to these musicians or movie stars. It's not really selling your soul. What it is, it's you're selling your allegiance, and that's your free will.
Your mind.
Pardon me?
Your mind.
Yes, it's your mind, and that goes on with the mark of the beast, because it's your mind, is your mind, and then your in your hand or on your hand, that is your works. Okay, so when people say they're gonna put a marker or on your forehead or in your hand or on your hand, this is my conjecture. This is just me from what I've studied. I believe this. I believe, like you just said, Beck, it's your thoughts. That's your forehead. Your thoughts, your focus, your worship, and on your hand, and they they can coincide together. It's not they can chop your hand off and put it in your head. No, I believe your hands are your works. This is what you work with.
Absolutely.
Same with your mind, your forehead, your pineal gland, your third eye. Let's just how they put it. We all know about the third eye, the mark.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
it's your temple. It's your temple.
the body, our body is our temple. Now, regardless if they put build a temple in Israel, this is nothing but more than magic crap. Look, kind of like what's going on in Afghanistan. Pay attention to what's going on here, because what's going on over here, don't look at. So, this is what they're doing. And I've argued with pastors about this over and over, because God, Jesus, He's God. He tells us your body is your temple, and I dwell in it. And He is omnipresent. And He knows our thoughts. He knows everything. So when you pray and do anything, He knows. He knows your thoughts before you even think it. Okay? This is what Lucifer, Satan, he wants. But he cannot create. He can only take what is here. And that is what the best thing that we know is electronics or AI or something like that. Okay? So, if we're, and like you said, Paul, you there?
Yes, mate.
If all this has happened before, and we know it has, we're at the downgrade of it, because we are being what's happening at the very top. What I say, the controllers, the Luciferians of this world, they are keeping us under a cover. They don't want us to know the truth. And unless you join their Luciferian society, then you grow the ranks and then you're enlightened. But once you hit that point where they tell you the whole truth of where they're at and who the profane us, who we truly are as stupid people or blinded people, and now you're enlightened, you know, if you know the enlightenment, you hit that pinnacle, you made it to their top. Now there's no way out. There is, but you will die. Okay. You will die. They'll forget to find you because there's so many of them out there that you have no clue how many there are out there. And I am telling you,
yeah, they are.
They're
every country town in every land. They founded every country town in this continent.
That's right.
Okay, so we know that. We do. I think everybody just needs to do a little bit of research on their own. Plus, I do want to provide some evidence to back up what we're saying here. Maybe it's not evidence to exactly back up that. Oh, look, if it's not, it's just a hiding of the flood anyway. So either way, the globe hides the father, hiding up Tartaria hides the flood. So it could be that they're doing it on a double scope. I've thought of that. Are these buildings 6,000 years old? Once trees solidify, they're all made out of trees. And once trees solidify, which they did over time, they become 10 times heavier. And they will stay there. Now, these buildings could be pre-flood, or they could have been another reset that is what everybody's looking at, that only, like with all the world's fairs, that reset would have only occurred in late 17 to mid 1800s. Now, there is evidence to back this up. So before anybody backs away thinking that we are just gone on a tangent, no, this is how I learned everything I've found out and have stood by, and have not had to back down on one thing that I've found out and stood by, because it's been confirmed by the Father himself. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't lead us down rabbit holes anymore, because there's no time for that. We've only got a couple of pieces of this puzzle left to put together. Now, this is a major one. Okay, whether you find out about this before the enclosed system or after, it doesn't take away the monumental importance of what we're talking about here. It means that if we're in the short time, Chris, it means that, yes, maybe you can throw everything out the window in the book of Revelation, but maybe not, because wouldn't you think the Father would leave that there anyways, and then they've copied it? Because I've often wondered how many of these prophecies they've pushed through themselves. When I saw Donald Trump give the key to Netanyahu, to Bibi, the key to the bottomless pit, it was all at the right time. It was after the Revelation 12 sign. It was almost, I could feel that they were staging prophecy, if you would like, in that way, because we know that when that angel got the key to the bottomless pit, that is an actual spiritual thing. That's a full-on thing. That's not just something you sit in front of a TV camera and have flashy photos taken of you. No, sorry. What the book of Revelation was talking about was something very, very deep, very heavy, and that angel would be released and Satan would be released. Now, if we are in that short time where he's been released, we don't have a handbook for that. However, as Growler said before, And when I brought this to his attention months ago, he said straight up, that was his thing straight up. Well, if it's happening again, the Father would make it play out the same, just so we know where we are. But they may be forcing these prophecies. That is my conjecture and mine
Or
only.
they're told to. Or they're told to. They're under instructions. They're under instructions from the Father.
Right.
That
because
Satan has to follow.
Right, because we are told that, someone can only be tempted if the Father's allowed them to be tempted, like Job. We know that only things can happen under his control. But it's those of us who are looking and wanting an answer, like Chris said, he's not going to stop until he just looks and looks and looks. And this is what we all have to do, because we're not going to work this out unless we do. People go, why do we need to work it out? What's the big deal? Jesus came, he's coming back, forget it. Well, hang on. We're trying to stop delusion being further ingrained in people, Bo. Now, I just think it is worth doing a whole thing on this, providing some photographic things that we can look at without even biased, just to actually look at them through neutral eyes and question what's happened. Because look, this free energy, they had fireplaces, guys, that they didn't use for fireplaces. No, they were used as some sort of electrical current system, ran down into something else, which they've since all taken away. These, let's call them a generator. Okay. They're all gone, and they're gone out of all the photos as well. There are so many pieces of missing information. There is all the mansions on Fifth Avenue in New York. Now, there's all pictures of them finished, but there's no pictures of them under construction. And they were built in the time of photographs. So you only have to put little things like that together, which, thank goodness, smarter people than you and I have done that before us, and then can lead the horse to drink, so to speak. But we have to be shown these things, and just to be able to question them. And I'm just so glad you came on, Chris, and brought this up. I'm so glad you rang us this morning.
Yeah, is it morning there for you? It is. Listen, and again, this is not something that's for sure. Again, I'm looking into these things. I have other people looking into them. I could be wrong. Maybe I am. All I ask, I beg the question, is to please dig deep in your heart and find the Holy Spirit and let Him guide you, and look at these things in a deeper level, because this is our this is what we're supposed to. This is what I'm supposed to do. Maybe not yourself, but this is something I have. I don't know what it is. I'm being told to figure these things out. Why? I have no clue. I don't. I didn't ask for this. If you were to talk to me 10 years ago, I would have laughed at all this crap. But there's something, and I'm going to just call it the Holy Spirit, because I know that's what it is, and it's God. And he's got, put people like you in touch with me to maybe put this out there. All I ask is this: please, two minds are better than one. Let's get this figured out, because we definitely are at the end times. What are the end times you're talking about? We're there, whether you like it or not, and it's not going back. Okay.
That's
So,
right.
and you guys there in Australia, oh God, I I don't know what to say. I just don't even know what to say. It is
No,
Don't
don't
you
worry.
worry, brother. We're
Yeah,
okay. He's got us,
that's
mate.
right.
Don't you worry. Don't
Yeah,
you worry. We'll come through for you.
yeah. Don't worry, mate. We're the test case, and I'll be up in heaven before you, and I'll make sure there's a drink waiting for you.
okay. So that's another question. Is it goes back to the times where um, cutting the heads off and all this stuff. Has that happened? You know, has
I believe it has, Chris.
Yeah,
But that will continue to happen until the very end of time itself, because people are back at the barbaric Babylonian Baal, give your children to the demon stage.
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
but isn't Christianity supposedly should have been wiped out at that time? You know, I'm asking questions here.
I don't think wiped out as such. I think, like, if Yeshua came and ruled for that 1,000 years and they've since left, this is what we need to ask ourselves. Who did he take with him? Well, we know he would have took the resurrected saints.
Yep.
But those who weren't resurrected and born into that new world, are we their people? Are we their offspring? Or are we the offspring of the dogs and the murderers that it said that they could not enter into that Jerusalem? And that was at that time frame I'm talking about. If we're talking past, that means that he said that they would be shut out of the kingdom. Now, what I've been trying to get my head around for months now is that who were the people that inherited what was left behind, and how come they didn't tell stories that have even been spoken about behind closed doors that didn't pass on? So I'm looking at it from that side as well, trying to understand how could have they hushed up everybody, absolutely every single family in the world, to say, oh, well, we turned up here, or our memories were wiped. I mean, all things are possible. We don't know. Maybe their memories, when Yeshua and the saints left, they were just wiped. And because in these old reels, they look like they're walking around aimlessly. They're well dressed. They've got all carrying suitcases, like they're all on the move,
Okay.
and they just don't know what's really happening, Chris.
I have an answer to that. Because, again, please, I recommend go to Sage of Quay and watch these. First, watch the 5-hour video and then the 8-hour video. And it explains these things because what happened was, if you go back in time, and there is proof of this, there's a generation of you go back to these, I don't know what you call it, like here in America, they had these great fairs, okay, and they use these structures like the Great Chicago Fair, and there's many other ones. And in these fairs, and across the world at this time, there's so many adopted kids and incubation, eugenics and things going on at this time that really make you question what was happening there. Why was there so many infants in where was the parents and things of this nature?
That's right. Where did all those children come from? What happened to their parents?
Right. And there was so many children and no parents. So it begs the question, something happened. And we're not enlightened or fulfilled of what happened there. We can only speculate and put the puzzle pieces together as I'm trying to do with the history and photos and whatever else I can accumulate. But honestly, the puzzle pieces have come together in a biblical way for me. And I'm trying to fit it all in together and look at it outside, looking at, because I don't want to put myself in a box, because I've been in that box for
Absolutely. Our whole life.
our whole life. And I've got to separate myself from that box and look into that box now and go, what happened? What's really happening? What's going on now? Why are they hiding this? Why are they hiding that? And if they're hiding this and hiding that, what else are they hiding? And again, they're hiding everything. So,
yeah.
Um,
this is why we're here. This is why we're here, trying to tell people the whole way through. And
yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you, guys, because of this, because of what I've looked into and because of what I've going on your shows and trying to talk to people, I've lost every one of my friends, every one of my family, either to death or to I'm crazy or you're just, it is, you talk about humbling. It's beyond humbling.
It's going through your fire. He's putting you through the fire now, the refining fire, rather than having to do it in a very horrible way. And that's how I see it for all of us who are listening, because we're all lost something or lost someone because of this along the way from telling the truth.
I've lost
Simple
it all.
as that.
You've
lost it all. Yeah.
I've lost everything I've ever owned. I mean, we're talking everything down to my animals and my cats and everything I love. I do have I have my daughters. I told you the other night I've been praying fervently.
Oh yeah, miracle.
Yes, and he heard my prayers, and I got a call from my daughter. And again, I'm so excited. And I'm doing okay, but she's doing great. And I told her, I said, my daughter's name's Sunny, my oldest daughter. And I said, Sonny, I want to tell you right now, between you, me, and this fence post, I don't care what you believe. God has heard my prayers. Okay? That's all that needs to be said. I know it, and I love him. He loves me, and he's listening to your prayers, because I know that. Something just wasn't right. And this is just one step. And I can't just pour out what I know. I mean, she knows. She calls me, you're that crazy conspiracy theorist, Dad. You're going off the deep end with all this stuff, a couple years back. And I'm like, yeah, okay. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine. But I'm going to tell it to you anyway. But you're going to remember it one of these days. And I promise you, it's going to come true. And it's going to come to light. And she told me, she goes, it's crazy because I remember what you were telling me years ago about, this and that, and government, and blah, 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 and your crazy conspiracy theories. She goes, something's going on, Dad. And I said, all right. Of course. I'm not taking any credit. I'm just going to relate to you as I'm relaying it to your audience tonight. I'm not a prophet. I'm not anything special. Trust me, I'm not. I am probably one of the worst sinners you could ever imagine, I've got a past, and I'm nothing special. I just here to help, here to. I have this heavy weight on my shoulders that I'm trying to get off. And little by little, when I do these interviews with you guys, it's just a little bit. I'm getting off my shoulders, and um, you know,
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean. It does help, doesn't it? It
does,
helps.
But again, when I hear like you guys, my brothers and sisters that I truly love, what's going on in where you're at in your country, it's just it brings more weight on me, and it it I just I don't know what to say or how to say it. Um, all I can do is pray and get on my knees and beg God to help. Uh, but it puts a huge lift and burden in my heart and my soul because you know I care and I love you, and there's nothing I can do except for that. And I like I've told you guys before, I've got a plan. You know, I've got a plan, and I'm willing to do it. And what it takes. Plan to the rest of the audience, we can go through that. But
Looks like we've got to have it together for you. It will be easier for you to come here because we're having prayers answered.
are you?
So yeah, oh yeah. So something's going down right now, but I can't share. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But something's going down, and we just see how it happens. It'd be good. You'd be better off coming over here. But yeah, Chris, I'm so pleased that about your daughter. We have said a prayer on the stream for her before, and nothing goes past him unheard. I just don't. I can't believe that because our whole lives we can see the pattern of him walking right beside us. Okay, and that's why we're out here doing this. I guess putting our heads on the chopping block. And a lot of people listening to these podcasts that a lot of us do, they can sit there and be very judgmental about what we're saying. But unless you've actually lived it and you've put years of your life aside to just let go of everything and everyone, and it's a huge cost to find this truth and then to actually try to give it back to the people, to try and say, look, this is what we've learned, please don't take offense or anything. We're just putting forward to you guys what we are seeing and what we've uncovered. You see, we've all been given a brain, but because we were brainwashed so much, now there's something staring right at us. It's not what we thought it was, and that we know that from the word go in this, 2015 to now, when most people have woken up in this very last bit of time. You said, what do we call it, Chris? I reckon we call it what it is. If the millennial reign's still to come, then it's not quite the last bit of time. But if it's happened, we are at the end of the end of the end of this. Is it going to happen again, of this cycle? I don't know. Is it a cycle? We don't know. We can't answer that. But we can say that we were given the Bible as an instruction book, and we need to follow it as best as we can. We all stuff up. Like you said, you're a sinner. I'm a sinner. Growler's a sinner. Look, he wouldn't have had to come. He would not have had to come to rescue us. But I do believe in the carbon copy of the Exodus. That was what at the very beginning will be at the very end. I'm not talking rapture. I mean an exodus, an actual literal saving if you will. A proper exodus. This is how I can see it. You know, they love their as above, so below. Well, how about so beginning, so end then? Okay, so they wouldn't want to admit that to you if that's the plan. I tell you what, they know a lot more of the plan than we know that they know, but there's still holes in it for them.
Listen,
But
let me
you,
run this by you real quick. Not all these structures that we've been talking about. There's other mansions and households across the world that if you go into these places that are abandoned, but it's like, I mean, these people were living very well, and it was like there was food on the table, there was clothes in the closet, like, and all these things, like, people just disappeared, and nobody can figure it out. Dishes that were, um, so
yeah, where did they go? Nobody knows.
nobody
And
knows.
who was this little remnant of people that was left that was nowhere near enough people to have built those cities?
That's right.
Now, these are just normal questions that anybody should be asking themselves that we never even thought of, only because we believed the narrative, we believed the history books, and we believed our teachers at school because we thought they were going on good knowledge. Now, what annoys me the most about in all these lies is that I pass these lies on to my children. That is the most worst thing to me.
You were indoctrinated, so you can't blame yourself.
No, I don't blame myself. That's where I'm really angry at them for doing that to my children through me.
And here's the problem, because again, these secret societies that we're talking about, and there's many of them, but they're all tied in together. They know the truth, and they're keeping this hush hush lie secret from us. You see them with the hidden hand and in the hush and the all saying eye and this and that. There's more to it than them telling you who they pledge their alliance to. They're mocking us
Absolutely.
because, again, ask yourself the question: what are they enlightened to? What are they enlightened to? The truth. What is the truth? Not our truth, Jesus Christ, but the truth of the past and the truth of. And if you go into the Greek, and what truth really truly means, truth means reality. So they're hiding us from reality, past, present, future. Now, we do understand why they want to hide this truth from us. But now that we know why or what they're hiding from us, let's dig. Let's go back. What happened, and what are let's get back to what's really going on that they know, because they're keeping this secret about, because you and I both know it's not a secret who they worship. That's not the secret that they're keeping.
No, but they've seen things on the other side that they've been lied to about, and they honestly believe they will get that everlasting life that they've been promised, and that's the only reason they're believing it, because they've been taken there.
Well, if you go back to the Luciferian doctrine, or Satanism, or Aleister Crowley, I mean, between me and you and the Christianity world, we look at it differently than they do. they've got all kinds of, I call them craziness theories of what's gonna. At the end of the day, we're all gonna die. So in their minds, what's gonna happen to them? They don't believe. They hate God. They believe, and there's different things that they believe. The Luciferians, the Satanists, the um, New Age, they've all got different kind of doctrines that they believe in. But you and I both know what's going to happen. So you've got to understand who's ruling us. Who's the rulers of this dark age besides Satan and the fallen angels? Again, we got the pyramid.
It's their offspring. It's their bloodline, darling. It's their blue bloodline.
That's
right.
That's
who's in control.
That's right. And it goes down from the Phoenicians to the Babylonians, the Egyptians, onward down. And
let's just call them the blood spillers, shall we?
Sure, we can call them whatever you want. But they're still ruling today. Again, Eric Weishaupt, they thought they found his papers inside his shirt and everything was stopped. No, that was just one sect. Everything continued, obviously, because you got the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergers,
Mate, they were well versed in what to do when they were caught. They were to disband and reband under a different faction.
That's right. And nothing stopped, and it's not going to. As a matter of fact, they are at their pinnacle, I believe, right now. And this is where I draw the question. Where are we? Because, again, we've been lied to. We know where we're at. We're at the cusp of the whole alien invasion crap. Okay? That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, another different story, yeah.
Right. But that all ties in. And again, we can go back to recently with the I don't know what I can say about the double A vax.
The VC.
VC. Okay. Everybody's saying this is the mark of the beast. I don't think it's quite there yet. I don't. I think we're at the pinnacle. But then again, has that been passed? I'm throwing up questions here because I thought I knew a few weeks ago or a month ago or even yesterday or a few days ago, I thought I knew where we were. And then I started answering questions. I had questions to me. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's really going on?
Oh, dude, that's what happened to us. Like, we're just, like, Growl is so trying to, get the timeline. So we've got some sort of an idea when to get out of the shops and never have to go back and all that sort of thing. And then the father threw this in my lap too, when I really started going, hang on, this still isn't right. Even with what I know about the lies I know, it's still not right. And then he showed me this, and this is why I question the the validity of this, because especially you ringing me like you did this morning, to me, I'll pray, but it was confirmation that we're onto something. We're like a dog with a bone. We're going to keep going until we get to that marrow bit,
And I hope it's not too late by the time we hit that sweet spot,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, but that's what we just got to hope, that we can get the word out. And like you said, we can't just be in a box anymore.
I don't want to. I'm not in that box. I'm not going to be in that box. And I don't care if I've lost friends or soon to be friends that I pour my heart out to. I'm beyond that point. I truly am. Um, I know I have a calling, if you want to call it that. I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing, or if I'm going about it the right way, or if I'm. Uh,
Oh, mate, we would have all stuffed up in what we've done here, but we've tried. If you at least put yourself out there, right? You put yourself out there. You said what you believe is true in your own heart, and that's all we were all sent to do. The Father is going to take care of everything else, because if we don't have faith for that, we shouldn't even be talking.
well, that's just it, because I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I'm asking questions, and I want people to get on board and um, don't shun me or don't shun this and that and say I got full of crap. Okay, I want people that are non-biased and have a clear mind, and if they've had an idea about something before, put that on the shelf and let's talk about something else. And later on, we can piece these puzzles together, because that's all I know now, right?
Right? Yeah, absolutely. We're all in this together. That's the only part of the old CV um, song motto at the beginning that is true. We are all in this together, but not in what they're in. They're in something completely different, and there's a lot of innocent people caught in the middle of this tidal surge, and they're just floating around. And I guess they're the ones we just hope, pray more than hope, is that they come across these streams, they open their minds, and they just listen.
That's just it. Open your mind, open your heart to questions and answers, because we don't know the answers. We don't know. All we know is there's one thing we do know. That's a fact. That everything up to this point is a lie. We can't trust anything that uh, I don't care what mainstream media you're watching. It's all lies. My suggestion is stop it all. Get rid of
Yes.
your television. Think for yourself. Don't let critical thinking go out the window. Even question yourself sometimes. Just sit down, take notes. That's what I do, and then question your notes and go to scripture, because even a lot of people go to scripture, but you got to understand that there's key words in scripture that we got to go back to the Greek and understand what some of these words truly mean, and put them in context, because context is key.
Well, remember the Bible says that we would deceive even ourselves.
Mm.
And that's exactly what we do. We deceive even ourselves, let alone those around us we love, and we don't even not being consciously deceptive. And this is how yourself as a human being is deceived by your own mind, that, like you said, you hear something different and the first knee-jerk reaction is, oh, no, no. But then you go, hang on a minute. Now, this is how I learned everything I got to be where I am today. And that's where you pull yourself up again. So, yeah, good point, mate.
Absolutely. And I can't stress this even more, is like you just said, our our existence that we're living in. People are so. Is it? Can I use the word indoctrinated? I don't. I think it's beyond that, because Scripture tells us that the evil one has blinded their minds, that they don't believe, and
Yeah, because even a horse with blinkers can just see a little bit out the side, they can see that little bit of light. These people won't even um, open their mind in any reservoir in their mind to take in what you say. We've all had this happen. That's why we've lost people.
Yeah, that's why we've lost family and friends and everything else. And meanwhile, while we're losing family and friends to our conversations or even uh, just gestures or, you know, meanwhile, they're going ahead, they're doing, again, I don't know if this is the mark of the beast. We don't know. But what I know this for a fact. They're getting the, you know, if you can see me, it's they're getting the JAB, and let me tell you right now, it's a killer. It might not it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, but it's coming.
Okay, mate, that's what I've been saying. If it's not even the MOTB, it is Depop. It's
Yep,
Depop.
that's right. That's right. It's
But
done.
I'm not going to back down on it's not the mark. Anyone tells you it's not the mark. Listen, in my country here, the boys can't even go to work unless they've got it. Well, that means they can't eat without it. Now, we got nearly all arenas covered: childcare, teachers, hospital, construction workers. So if it's happening all again, even if this has happened before, it's happening again, and that's highly possible. That's why I don't discount this millennial reign might have actually yes. From the physical structural evidence, that's overwhelming at this point in time.
You're cluing me in on a lot of things here because if this has happened before, okay, let's just say it has. If the mark has happened before, is it in scripture that it's going to happen again? Or how does this work in scripture? Because I'm trying to figure this out, Beck.
Well, Alan, if it is, and what we're being shown is correct, surmising it is, that means that we don't really have a roadmap to this last bit, because Father said
That's right.
Satan would be loose for a short time,
That's right.
which means it doesn't matter, mate, because we're not on our own. It's only those in the world that are on their own. They don't want to care about him. They don't even give him 1 minute to think about. They're on their own. They've been told all this. They've already been through it. They've got all these ruins to look at, and these things that even us at this last minute are just starting to understand, us with the blinkers off. So how much harder for those who are coming from the ground up? What, you want a 101 in all of this? Wow, have you got 24 hours to sit down and not leave at all so we can tell you? Because we're kind of up to that stage. And basically, I think if we've been through it all, we're in the very short time, I know then we don't have to worry about nothing. I really do, because he didn't say nothing. He didn't, otherwise he would have said, panic, run. I don't know. But that's where I'm going with this at this point in time, that it still always comes back to trust. Always. There's no way you can't, recant from your faith, because that's what's going to carry us through. But yes, Chris, you're right. It changes something. If this has all happened before, it changes the whole dynamics of everything that we've learned. And we know that what we learned, so to speak, through the universities, school system, blah, 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 has been false, completely false. people that know about the ancient trees, about ancient stones, about sapphires, what they really are. Don't get me started, but wow, I know a lot of stuff. And they will not let these people speak in universities. They are sent polite messages telling them to piss off, okay? Because they do not want their boat rocked. Now, whatever this game is at the end here, it's playing out, and I think a lot of us feel that every day I wake up, it is Groundhog Day, which is so weird, but not, because Lucifer knew, so made sure everybody had a taste of Groundhog Day before we even did, okay? That stupid movie. Now, we have to think, right, no matter what, if we don't have that literal roadmap that they had back in the Millennial Kingdom to go on, well, that's okay, because he said he'd just rule a short time, and bang, boom, I've got to go on that.
Okay. So let's just say, through giggles and shits, right, that this stuff has been passed, and we are where we think we are, the millennial. I guess after the millennial reign, is that what it would be?
Absolutely. It means that Yeshua's gone back up to heaven with the saints, because if it's after the millennial reign, where is he now then?
Okay. What's next?
What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
No.
You know, that's what I just tried to kind of say, was we really don't have a roadmap for this part of it if we're in the short time.
Because in Scripture, it kind of shuts off, doesn't it, after that?
It does. That's the thing. It does.
I don't know what to say.
Now, there's one thing that, people in chat just said, Antichrist is next. I just want to say something about just what I think. Nothing mightn't be, but this has been very strong in me, that I know there is a spiritual connotation for a scripture, and then there is let's call it kinetic, a physical connotation for a scripture. So the Antichrist appearing, it's already here. It's here. Now, if you're waiting for the physical, then all these people that have took this VC and it's been the MOTB are now doomed. We're just surmising, remember, okay? Now, they're all doomed. They're gone because they were deceived. What did he do in the garden? He deceived Eve. He just tricked her. Now, these people were tricked into taking this VC. Now, whether this has happened before or whatever, I would say it very well would. When any world leader is going to be in command, they're going to want some form of allegiance to them. They're going to want some form of, you show me that you mean business, okay? Now, this, where it's, how do we say? You see, it wasn't forced in the beginning, and this is where it's blinded the people. That's what I'm trying to say. I believe that. Whether it's happened before or not, it doesn't matter. It is happening now. And what is happening now, we really should concentrate on that. Yeah. But if we look at history, what is the thing? History always repeats itself. It does. And so there has been, whether it was Nero, a lot of biblical theologians subscribe to the Nero theory, that Nero was the Antichrist of the old world. You mightn't have all heard that, but it's very well known in the circles. I don't subscribe to that. I don't really subscribe to anything until I see it with my eyes. So is it Obama? Is it Trump? Is it Prince Harry? Look, I know one thing's for sure. it ain't going to be nothing that we expect it to be with the Antichrist. And this would be the perfect cover, as it's in your hand, in your forehead. Well, you want to turn one letter around in the Bible, which is the I to the O, in or on. If you change the word on, which is on your hand and on your forehead, which is what they're all looking for, a visible mark. Let's just surmise, change that on word to in. What's happened there? That on just became in you. Now, this is where, as Christians, we can't leave anything to chance. So I can't even believe anybody would honeymoon this in their brain, that they would even entertain this thought at all, that, oh, well, at least I can keep your job for a while. It's not the mark. It's going to be all right. Listen, 10 minutes research by anybody will tell you that this, you don't go near this. Anybody, okay? Anybody. Now, with this all happening before, absolutely possible, because there would have been a mark of authority, a mark of ownership, especially so much more in the old world, where it may have been a visible mark, but we've way surpassed the visible mark. You want to put something into you, you cannot get that thing out. You can't chop your head off. You can't chop your hand off. And that was a joke, chopping your head off. But you know what I mean. You're not going to be able to get this thing out of your system. Now, this is a DNA changing. Didn't want to go into this, but I will just for a sec. Now, anybody can see this would have happened back then because of the Crimeas that we have. The proof in the literature, in the paintings, in our architecture, the proof of the Crimeas is there. It's everywhere. These things were not fairy tales. Okay? Now, we're going back into that. I don't know that we're going to get at that level, because that would probably take another couple of generations for these people to actually be born, maybe, as these, or they're going to release something from underground. So there is the other alternative. This is where critical thinking comes on board, guys. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
Well, with the whole Crimea thing, you know damn well as I do, whatever they're putting in our body is changing something or other. I mean, I'm not a scientist or a virologist, how I would pronounce it. But you and I both know that it's changing our molecular structure, our DNA structure. So if you want to call it a chimera, I'm not having anything to do with it regardless. I know this much. We're not at the point where everybody in the world cannot go shopping. I just went to the grocery store. I had no problems. Nobody's wearing a mask, nothing. So I know for a fact we're not there yet. You guys might be, but it tells us in Scripture the whole world.
Where the test case bed, it's coming your way to a town near you in a minute. Now, if it's happened here, and this was the thing I've had talking to other people, that they just like, well, no, just because it's happening there, it's not going to happen here. Okay, well, I hope I'm wrong. I do. But when you cannot no longer go to the store, that means you can't eat, doesn't it?
I mean, is that going to be the defining line of it all? That
I'm pretty sure it is, because if you can't work without it and you can't eat without it, that's the only two things they need to do, right? So and that's here now. We're there. We're at the pinnacle.
Okay, so it's there where you guys are now, but it's not here. It's not in Bosnia or Serbia or
Give it 5 months.
Okay, let's go over this. So what you're trying to tell me is nobody in Australia can go to the grocery store, or you can't buy online. You can't get food sent to your house.
No. Listen.
No, yeah.
Let me pull you up there.
Yeah, I think the system has to be implemented, and it takes time to implement the system and to implement it through countries. Doesn't happen straight away because you got to get the system in place.
Right.
See, that's the thing. So it's going to take longer for other places than other places. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think they're giving themselves time. You know, the FDA just approved the Pfizer one. Moderna will go through the same as well. Now, I think that how would I put it? Look, this is, I don't like to say this global, but it's a global effort, and this plan has to be put in place, and it is being implemented in Nigeria. You can't. There's places in Africa where you can't buy anything, you can't do anything, and now they've been juiced. They don't need banks there anymore, and everything's on the phone. So and your passports are on the phone, so everything's going to be on the phone. Everything, you know, it goes in with you know, whatever they juice you up with. So that's going to be connected to your phone. So that's connected to your phone. So it doesn't happen all together. It happens in stages, and there has to be test cases, and you know, countries that are going to be ahead. That's the way I see it, because I mean,
we're just a bit ahead of everybody. That's all. We're just ahead of you guys, and we've got our tradies now that if they don't get juice, they ain't got a job.
Yeah, and people that are on government benefits, if they don't take it, they cut them off. So they're going through every part of society, from one level to the next, from one level to the next, from one level to the next. They can't do it with all countries at the same time. It won't work. If we have a look at Polygon, I think once they get their numbers between when it started between 2020 until 2023, they say it's the world's largest clinical trial. So they're going to get as many in between that time frame, and then I don't know. They have to collapse this old system to bring the new system in. So anyone that's living in the old, I don't know, what do? They're going to take down the grid at some point. You know, to say if you aren't in this new system, we've taken down the old system. If you want to be in this new system, it's going to, how would I put it? You'll have to be juiced to be part of this new system. So they've taken care of the old system. They're getting as many people as they've done can do between 20 and 23, I would say. Once they get their desired amount, that's when they take down the old system, where only the juiced can go to the new system. So it's going to take some time. It really will. I mean, if you have a look at Tura Sosa, the Black Pope, he said, you know, it's going to take some time for people to adjust, and I can run that video next time. And we all know that the Black Pope is basically the big dick of who's in charge, and who's in charge of this whole charade. Now, it's going to take time because people have to adjust. People don't know what's happening. They hit it straight away. They've got the systems in place, but they need to get as many juiced as they can. They've got that time frame. So once they get that amount done, that's when they shift to the new system. So if you can see what they're doing in Australia, they're hitting construction workers, they're hitting healthcare, they're hitting childcare, they're hitting year 12 students, they're hitting all different age groups, and they've got to work through that system. Once they work through and get through all those systems, that's when they can take down the old system to switch into the new system. So it's not going to be all of it all at once. It's because they want to try and trick people and deceive people, and that takes time. So that's the way I put it. It'll be impossible to do it all together. It really would in one shot. So that is my take on it, and being the mark as well. I mean, I've said this a few times. You know, they say it goes in or on the right hand or in the forehead, and I mean, put it this way. If a lot of people think it's a chip. If you put the chip in there, you know, you can easily take it out. You know, cut your hand off, or wherever the chip is, you can cut it off, and then, hey, you know, you don't have it. So, see, this is the thing. It's got to be injected, intramuscular injection. So then it's got to go. It goes into the blood system. Then you've got the luciferase and graphene oxide, and your nanoparticles. Now, I did hear that the nanobots are the markers, and the nanobots go into the blood down to your right hand and sit just in your wrist. It sits in your wrist. So you've got the luciferase and the nanobot in your right hand. If you see people getting tested, just see the crap that they're shoving up people's noses. It goes in 6 inches too. That goes in 6 inches. It has to go into at 6 inches. So they're putting something in there. What that is, I don't know. But how many nanobots do they have in it? Does one go to the forehead and one go to the right hand? I don't know. But I know it goes into the right hand. It's an intramuscular injection. You cannot get it out. Once it's in your blood system, it's in your whole system. There is no way of getting it out. So these people aren't stupid. They're not stupid. They don't make mistakes in one way.
Raul, do you believe that they're pushing for this Antichrist human being to make?
I think what you're saying, yeah, I think the whole system has to be in place. An AC, as a person, which wouldn't surprise me, the whole system has to be in place.
Brother,
before
that totally blows out what we've been talking about, because, and I'm just asking questions here because.
Yep.
You know, I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
Like I said, if the Antichrist hasn't made his debut,
yep.
Well, then we're back to square one.
Yeah. I'm saying that there might not be a single person, because that already happened. Yeah. So
it's a system. Yeah.
It's a system. That's what I'm trying to say. Is there going to be an AC? There has been. There's Nimrod.
You guys got to stop right there, because the Antichrist is a man. It's a human being.
Yes, that's right.
It's not a system. It's not this. It's not.
Is it? Because it says it's a number of a man, and we are carbon. We are 666.
Right.
We are carbon.
But it also goes back in and says he.
No, it doesn't anymore. No, I'm going to pull you up there, my friend. It has changed to it in half the Bibles in the world. It has changed to it causes all. It. Please, everybody, grab a Bible. Any Bible. You're all going to have, one will say it, one will say he. Now, why has that changed? That's what I question myself. Okay?
Good question. Here we are again, back to square one.
Yeah, no, not really. Not really. We're not back to square one, really. No.
I do believe in the Mandela. That's a whole nother talk show, if you will. I'm just, I'm in the midst of this crazy life, just like everybody else. I'm just asking questions, and I want to figure this crap out. And I'm trying to do my due diligence. And I need answers. I want questions. If anybody's in the chat's got any comments, questions, answers, I mean, I want to know. Please.
No, we're all good, mate. Look, we're all questioning it, and that's all we can do as human beings. And given the evidence presented before us, which is not a lot to go on, because, whoever conquered back then owns history. It's what they wanted it to be. It's written how they wanted it to be at this time. Some things, however, the Father would not let be changed, as we all know, for our goodness, because he is about our good and our safety. Now, it's so we're not even talking about the Mandela effect, really, like not at all. When it says it's changed to it, because it is a system, as well as, they might bring a man out, but is that at this stage, at this late in the game, when we know what this thing is they're doing? See, this is where the pre-trib was very dangerous to a lot of people, because a lot of the Christians have already had the VC who thought, well, we're not in tribulation, so, it's okay. I'll do it, because I'll know when it's the mark. I'll know because this bloke or whoever this AC is supposed to be forcing that upon us. But who's forcing it upon you? 666 is man, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Warp Speed, all of them. They all had their part in it. So it's a conjoined effort of the Antichrist system to implement it.
Wait a minute. You gotta stop there, back, and go back, because you said he forces. It doesn't say force.
Causes and force. In some Bibles it says forces, but it's cause. In the King James it used to say cause.
Now, if we go to cause, what does cause mean?
Coercion.
Coercion, where you need it to do certain duties, tasks in your daily life.
That's it. It's not force. So in other words, it's not trickery. He's using what we have in society to, I guess, if you want to put it in polite terms, have no other choice. Right?
Keep them enslaved.
Well, cause. If I cause you an accident in your car, what does that mean?
It means you didn't do it intentionally, but you might have swerved to hit something, and then that caused me to run off the road. But that's what's happening here. That's what's happening here.
Right. So it's not force. So we
not as yet.
So we got to stop looking at it as force.
Well, it is forced if you cannot go to work for your family and you got to go beg on the street because all you know is you've been a concreter your whole life. You can't do nothing else. And then they say you have to have this to keep going in your job. They go, well, I can't drive a truck, I can't do anything else, that's all I do. Then they are causing and forcing. So it becomes a double whammy.
Yeah, so if it says cause, yeah, it causes all. So causes all. So if you have a look at causes all, you still have a choice not to take it, but you can't go back into society.
Absolutely.
So you still have that choice. So you've got the choice to go back into society, or which means you're basically shit out of luck if you don't take it, because
Yeah,
you
so
won't be
you're
able
out
to.
of the
Yeah,
system. Yeah.
that's it. That's it. So he only has to cause, take everything off you. You know that they say, no, it's fine. Don't have to take it. No, it's fine. But look, you'll be living in squalor conditions, and I don't know, run to the forest, and because that's the only place you can live,
Can't feed
because
your
you won't be able.
children.
Yeah, and a few
So they're
people
not
have.
forcing it on you. It's still a choice. Hey,
Yeah, that's
just
right.
don't feed your
But
kids then.
yeah, that's right. So, and I have seen that they've been. I'm not sure if this is true. If they've been, I've seen it in the chat that they're installing black lights and that sort of thing to detect the glowing blue lucifer rays and that sort of thing. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at that yet. A lot of people have been saying it. I'm not sure where it is or what it's doing. Um, yeah, and I mean, there's so many translations. I mean, just one word can stuff it up. And you can interpret it the wrong way, and that's why I say to myself, I'd just rather pray about it, because the Holy Spirit and Yeshua doesn't lie. I pray about it and let Him reveal it to you. I mean, look at the scriptures and everything like that, and search it out and try and filter things out. But the only way you're going to get the truth is if you pray about it, and if you do want truth and that sort of thing, it's very important to forsake your life, all of it. Don't go out here, don't go out there, don't go to the bars, don't go to. This is what I think. I'm not telling people to do this, but you've got to try and live as, I don't know, basic, simple, and as holy as you can, so you get the right answer. Because if you show um, as much obedience as you can, He's going to give you that answer. That's the way I see it, because the Holy Spirit and Yeshua doesn't lie. As we know that there's so many different translations and that sort of thing, it can just put you off on a wrong tangent. So if you, that's the way I see it. That's all I can say. But all I can say to everyone here is, if it's changing your DNA, if it has luciferase in it, if it has graphene oxide, which is black goo, and you have a look at it under the microscope, and graphene oxide is in shape of a hexagon, and you have a look at recombinant DNA, which is chimeric DNA, you've got graphene oxide, you've got the chimeric, you've got the luciferase, you've got all that. And people say we aren't in tribulation. Well, this sort of shit basically changes your DNA, which makes you unredeemable. It's that simple.
Yep.
That's just that. I mean, take everything out of it, just put those ingredients. You're putting that into your God-given DNA, and it changes it. You're unredeemable.
Boys,
Ask
I'm
yourself
gonna.
basic questions.
Boys,
Basic
I'm
questions.
going to have to cut this short because Messy's
Yep.
got to go. So we
Yep.
have to actually say goodnight.
Yep.
We
Cool.
do. He's just come down and seen me, and he's bailing. My phone's about to go flat as well, which actually I just looked and I can't see my screen at all. You can hear me, Growler, yeah, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Chris, are you still there, darling?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, listen, we'll talk to you shortly. We'll take this conversation up again. Let's all get
I think we might have lost. Are you there?
I'm here.
Yep. Oh, okay. I think we might have lost Beck for a sec. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we've got to wrap it up. I'm sorry about that, guys. Really am. So hopefully we get. She's out. She's out. So, but guys, I just want to thank you all very much. And my pad's just about to go as well. So I just want to thank all of you, Tim Ryan, Truth Seeds, and of course Chris Levens. Can people just give Chris a big shout out for his beautiful Richard Gere haircut and everything like that? Thanks for coming on, Chris. You were just awesome, mate, and we just love you left, right, and centre. We really do. And Meg Zeff and beautiful Anne, we love you so much, Anne and Meg Zeff. Just email Beck your number. We've got to call you again, darling. We really do. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've lost your number. So email Beck your number and we'll give you a call. Davey313, Kathleen Miller, great to see you in. Robin Middlebrook, thanks, darling, for coming in. You're awesome. DJ Nazi and Laura Stovall. Dwayne, thanks very much, Dwayne, Christ follower, thank you so much. And Fudgy, love you heaps, mate. Loving kindness, thanks for coming in. And anyone else, Truth Seeds, thanks, Truth Seeds. And Trixie Andrews, like I said at the start, you know, we're very, very proud of you, darling. Yeah, you hold strong, and we'll call you soon. The Bubba News, thanks, Bubs, for coming in and putting out great content, mate. And John Boy, thanks, John Boy, for coming in. And anyone else, Joseph Sage, thanks, Jose. Thanks for coming in, mate, and hope everything's going well for you. And we will see you next time, guys, and we love you very much. And, of course, the lovely Zoe Round. Saw you in, Zoe. I love you. We love you very much. Don't forget that. Sorry?
Shirley Graham.
And Shirley Graham, we love you, darling. And we'll talk to you soon. Guys, thank you so much for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Chrissy.
Yep.